today I'm going to talk about the most commonly used body language here in Spain. The first typical gesture from Spain that I'm going to talk about is this one. It is used when you want to say something similar to "do you get it?" or as a way to ensure that the other person catches what you are telling them. The following gesture is very useful in daily life, as it can be used whenever you go to a place where there are some people. I'm talking about this one. It is used to say that some place is really crowded and people are really packed together. For example, "Hey, would you like to go to a restaurant this Saturday?" "What are you talking about? Saturday? Have you gone mad? The whole place is gonna be like this." Let's move on to the next one, that is done like this. It means that you want nothing to do with some situation, that in some way you want to stay away from it. The last gesture that I'm going to show in today's video is as follows. Normally, it's used to say that some dish you've just eaten was extremely delicious and that you really liked it. However, it can also be used to refer to something that you have just done, for example, a craft or a project that in your view looks very nice. An example of what silence could mean here in Spain could be the following. Imagine you're in a conversation and suddenly everyone stops talking. You don't know what to say or what to do, and you start feeling uncomfortable and to feel that everything is a little bit awkward. So you want to leave, but you don't want to seem rude. It isn't until the silence is broken that you start feeling everything is coming back to normality. Another example of the meaning of silence in Spain is that if you are asked a question and you don't answer almost immediately, it is understood that you actually don't know it. Now, let's move on to touch. The most typical example of touch here is the kiss that is given in each cheek as a way of greeting, usually done between women or between a man and a woman, but not normally between men. The kiss is usually done like this. Another great example of touch is the fact that we usually shake hands with someone we've just met or as a way to close an agreement. Shaking hands is done like in any other country where it is common to do it. It is like this. Now I'm going to talk about eye contact. Eye contact is sometimes related to lying when someone refuses to look at you in the eye. Just like I'm doing to you right now, except that in this case I'm obviously not lying to you. Another example of eye contact is that if someone suddenly looks down while you are in a conversation with them, like this, it could mean that you have upset them. This is the end of this video. Thank you very much for listening. Bye!
Hi, I'm Carla Sanchez from 3rd of SOC, and I'm going to do a speaking activity from non-verbal communication in my country. Well, first of all, I'm from Spain, and in Spain, when we do like this with our thumb up, is that it's okay, it is nice. And when we do this, is peace, or for the pictures. When we do this, it's like remember or think, you have to think. And when we do this, seems yes, and we do no, this is no. When we do this, is like love, I love you. And well, when we do like this, it's like we're thinking or something like similar, or like this is something similar too. Well, so when we do this with our eyes, like we are like surprised, and I think that's it. It's not so much, but it is what it is.
Hello, I'm Pacheco, and I'm going to talk about the different gestures we make in Spain. Like this one, that means that it's perfect. This one, that is like you are finishing with something by leaving it, like you don't do it or you have done it very quickly. This one, that is like you are leaving. This one, that makes like means like that I got an eye on you. And this one, that means like when you are going to a bar and you are going to pay, and that are different types of gestures we make here in Spain. Bye.
Body language in Spain by Lydia Martin. This means no, and we usually use it. We do this to show that we like it or we are agree with that. Sometimes we use silence to show that we are not comfortable. When we meet someone important, we always say hands. We look at the eyes when we are talking with somebody.
I'm going to show you some gestures about a non-verbal communication in Spain. If we are in an informal meeting, we usually receive the other person with 2 kisses. But if it is a formal meeting, we usually receive the other person shaking our hands. Another gestures are, if we want to say yes, we use this, and if we want to say no, we use this. Another gesture is that we use this when we want to say that there are many people or many things in a place. And the last one is that we use this when we want to say that we are cold. That's all. Bye!
Hi, I'm going to show you different ways of nonverbal communication in my country. The first one is the handshake. It is very formal and it's used when you don't know people very much. The second one is the hug. It is used to greet your close friends or your relatives. If you are very close with one friend, you can do a special handshake that only both of you know. And if you touch someone that you don't know by accident, the correct thing to do is to apologize. Also, if you're talking to someone, you should look at them and their face or their eyes, but try not to be very intimidating. I hope this was useful and you enjoyed. Thanks.
So today I'm going to talk about body language in Spain. First I'm going to talk about the gestures. When you do this gesture with your eyebrows, this means that you can see or maybe that you are not understanding something. For example, when the teacher is explaining and you do this gesture, that means that you are not understanding. When you move your head up and down, you mean to say yes, and when you move it from one side to the other, you want to say no. When you touch your head with your finger, that means that you are thinking or remembering something. When you put your thumb up, that means that you agree with something, and when you put it down, that means that you don't agree. When you do this gesture, this means so much or a lot of something. When you do this gesture, that means that you're listening to something or to someone. Probably that you want her or him to repeat it because you haven't listened. Now I'm going to talk about silence. Silence in Spain can have many different meanings. For example, when you are with someone and you're in silence and looking at the floor, this is very uncomfortable, and this probably means that you don't want to talk with this person. Sometimes it can be also that you are not understanding what a person is saying. Now I'm going to talk about the touch. The touch is very common in Spain because at first when you meet someone, you give your hand and you shake it, or maybe you give 2 kisses like that, or maybe when you have more confidence, you give a hand, that is, put your arms around someone. Or some children, when they are very close, they have a special greeting. Now I'm going to talk about the eye contact. The eye contact is very important in Spain because if you are making eye contact with someone, that means that you are listening to this person and that you care of what he or she is saying. And if you don't make eye contact, this means that you are not caring about what this person is saying, or maybe that you don't want to listen to this person. So I have finished talking about body language. I hope you like it, and thank you for listening.
Non-verbal communication. Gestures. The gesture in the side of the head with a finger in the United States is to show your memory, but in Russia it means insanity. Also in Turkey, this gesture that for us is yes, for there is no. Silence. In the UK and the United States, the silence is can make the people feel uncomfortable, but in the Chinese culture it is not negative. And also in the Aborigine cultures, a question should be answered after a long period of time. Touch. Touch for us is a great part of social life, but in North Europe, touch is not so commonly, and also can make the people feel uncomfortable and in the Arab world, the men shake their hands and kiss each other, but they shouldn't do the same with the women. And in Laos and Thailand, touch the head of someone is taboo. But and also in South Korea, the older people can touch with force the young people, but the young people can do the same with the older. Eye contact. For us in Europe, eye contact is a gesture to show your confidence to the other person, but in the Arab world this is not so common, and in some countries of Asia, Africa and Latin America, broke this eye contact is a gesture of aggressive and no sé.
International body language and language with no words. So the first one is gestures. I think one of the most used in Spain. Apart from that is like that means or okay, like something is okay, and or you feel good, or when you want to say yes. The silence maybe when the teacher in class says, do you know the meaning of that, and all the class is in silence, so that means that anyone know it.
Non-verbal communication in Spain. Spanish people use a lot of gestures, and some of the most important ones are so that you can use when you're not feeling that great, crowded room that describes a space full of people, and shameless that you can use when a friend tries to avoid paying their part. Silence is seen as a lack of engagement in a conversation in Spain, so people rush to try to fill that space and don't make others feel uncomfortable. Contact is really common in Spain. It goes from shaking hands in formal situations to hugs and kisses with friends and family. Eye contact is important in Spanish conversations because it means
Hello, I'm
that
Marta,
we're paying
and today
attention.
I'm going to talk about the body language situations in Spain. So first with gestures. Gestures in general can be a little bit confusing. For example, the simple thing of smiling at someone. Maybe someone can think that when you're smiling at him, you're interested at him or something. Or maybe he's like, why is this girl smiling at me? I don't know. Maybe he takes it like weird and you're just trying to be nice and smile at him. So yeah, it can be a little confused. Then silence. Silence, for example, when you're with your friends, when you have nothing else to say and you're just in silence, it is usually really uncomfortable. But when you're in class, it's important to be in silence because the teacher is explaining the things and you have to listen to her. Then that's before, here in Spain, it's really common when you meet someone to give him or her 2 kisses. Like almost every time you have to give him 2 kisses. But well, then we can shake hands too when there's a person like your boss in job. You don't usually give him 2 kisses, so you can shake your hands with him. And then not anymore because of the situations with the coronavirus. So we just do like the thing that would to give the hands like that or with the foot. It's really difficult right now, but yeah, before we used to do that. And eye contact. Maybe when you're with your friends, it's not really important to give eye contact, but in general, not giving eye contact when you're talking to someone can be really disrespectful because maybe they think that you're not listening to them, so you have to make sure that you're looking to them for them to know that you are listening to them.
And a kind of number communication of a country. First, I'm going to do the most basics. Example, making this means yes. Then, making this means no. And shaking your hand, this means when you want to say hello to someone. Another can be this, shaking both hands of the 2 persons. They also can use to say hello. And then we have others. Example, making it with your fingers. Making it of your fingers is used when you are talking about something and there is a big quantity of something. Other is this, making this with your hands. This means when you are talking about something and the thing is very, very big. Other is making this with your finger into your head. This means that you are thinking about something and you can remember it. Other is making this with your hand in front of your nose. This means that you are smelling something that it smells naughty. Other is this means peace, but people use it to make it in photos. Other that we have is putting your heart with the other person. This means that both of you have a lot of conflict. And other number of communication can be being in silence. Being in silence in my country cannot be good. Being in silence when you are aware of the person can be uncomfortable. So this is not good in my country. And this is my cut of